Well, good evening, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to another Wednesday Wisdom Poetry. I am Sheralden Brave. I'm excited to be here, excited that you're here with me. And we have our 1 year anniversary that we're going to be celebrating from 4 p.m. To 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're with me right now, it is so great to be in the house with you. I am overly excited. I would never have imagined that after when I first started this, that I would be coming before you a year later just to say thank you and to spend this time with you. So I'm not going to belittle the time because we got 2 hours. You know, I'm not expecting you to sit here for the whole 2 hours. You know, get up, get yourself some coffee, tea, water, do what you need to do and have to do. But I will be here the entire time. So, but I do have somewhat of an agenda, and what I would like to do is I will be bringing people on live, as you all already know, and I'm really looking forward to that part right there more than anything. And let me just go ahead and do a shout out right now. Freddie Jackson, I see that you're there, my brother. You already sent me an invite for the video. I really do appreciate that because that's going to be the bare bone and the backbone of what this all going to look like for the next 2 hours. So I really do appreciate that. So what I'm going to do right now, I am going to make a strong attempt to bring Reverend Beverly Saunders Biddle on in order to do an opening prayer for us. And so let me get that done, and then we're going to go ahead and get this started with the poetry. But I wanted to start with prayer because everything that has been for this last year as far as Wednesday Wisdom Poetry was based on prayers. And so I really want to get started there. And she is with us, so let me just go ahead and bring her in. Just give me a second here. And allow your viewers, see if I can get her in here. And I see that you're here, Reverend Biddle. It's just not coming up to allow me to bring you in. Come on now. Give me just a second. I appreciate y'all's patience with me. Your patience. Let's see something here. Reverend Biddle, do you see anything that allows you to invite yourself into it? Allow your viewers to request to join you as a friend on Facebook. Do you see anything, Reverend Biddle, that allows you to invite yourself in? Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring them on camera. Bring them on camera. So I see everyone else they're going in and actually inviting themselves in. See if you see anything, Reverend Biddle, that allows you to invite yourself in. All right, but in the meantime, because I don't go any place, because I know I'm going to be able to figure that out. All right, so what I want to go ahead and get started with, I do have 12 poems. No invite for you. Okay, let's see. Wow. Before the like button, she should click on that before the like button. So you're saying that, thank you, is it Beatmos? You're saying that it's right before the like button. Reverend Biddle, do you happen to see a button just before the like button? Ah, there you go. I know you would figure it out, and it helped me to figure it out too. Thank you so much. And I'm going to approve yours. Look at that. I think we got it. And it's still working to add you in there.
in?
Thank you. There you are.
All right, modern technology. Thank you, thank you. Blessings to everyone who is here. And before we pray, I just want to acknowledge my brother Sheralden. I just so miss you so much since you left the DMV, and congratulations on 1 year
Thank you so
of
much.
sharing your gifts here online. So
Thank
let us all just take a nice collective breath. And with that breath, we know that we are connected, even though it appears we are apart. So right now, I just acknowledge the presence and the power of the one God that is everywhere present at one time in fullness, meaning that God is present right here with us, right here within us, moving in, through, and as each of us. And so we give thanks right now the way that God moves in, through, and as our brother Sheralden, for the gifts that he's been given and for his willingness to share them so freely and openly. So God, I just ask that you continue to bless him, that you continue to work in, through, and as him, so that all of the precious gifts that you have bestowed upon him become gifts to us. Not being selfish, just being grateful. So thank you, God, for everyone on this call right now. Thank you for all of those who also will be sharing their gifts, because we know that all gifts are bestowed by our loving Mother, Father, God. And we each have gifts. And so it is up to us to share them to make this world a better, more loving place. So with that, I just say thank you, Ashe, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Before you go, Reverend,
Absolutely.
to let everyone know, Reverend Beverly Saunders Biddle, minister of spiritual consciousness, and spirit, and she's also a spiritual life coach. So, and she's also one of the ministers at my home church, Unity of Washington D.C. And when Spirit showed me to ask you, I actually knew. I immediately know why, because anytime I need a little guidance, you're there to help with it. But you know it. Uh, and your always, sometimes it cuts me, but I know it's always from a loving place. So I thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Well,
No,
you know, I just shared the gifts that God has given me. So no more hiding under a bushel
thank you.
for any of us.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Blessings. Thank you. I'll hang on for just a little bit, and then I have to go.
All right. All right. Thank you now.
Okay. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. All right. Thank you all for hanging in as we figured out the technology. I love learning something new. All right, so listen, I said earlier that I have 12 poems, and I want to represent each month, but they were probably not from that particular month. But I wanted one to represent every month. And then I do have a four-liner, and the four-liner will be done at the end of the other poems, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And also for anyone, after we've done the points and we're going into the question and answer portion, go ahead and check out your invite. Go ahead and start plugging those in so that when we get started, we can just kind of roll as smoothly as my stylist will allow me to do so. All right. So the first piece, and because of the, let me say this, when I was deciding what pieces I was going to read for this event, I took seriously into account the climate that we're in. Uh, so I would love to just do a bunch of love poems and all of that stuff, you know, all the really great consciousness pieces, but also know that what we fight for as activists and people seeking justice in love, that's part of what we do as well. So, poets, we've got a lot on our plates, and we should be able to tackle anything at any time. All right. So this particular piece is called "Woke." I need to do more than sit here and dream. For while I am dreaming, there goes another scheme. There's the scheme of another form of redlining, pushing documents to folks who don't know what they're signing. There's the scheme of taxation without representation, and yet these are the citizens who will fight for this nation. There's the scheme of engaging in multiple wars, brave warriors returning with unchecked mental scars. There's the scheme of property tax funded education, still creating segregated schools and spending years in litigation. I must do more, for this isn't a joke. The schemers are always scheming, but I must always be woke. Woke. The next piece I would like to do, and then after this piece, I would like to also do some acknowledgments. Act right and vote. Three copper pennies, maybe a silver piece or two. A body floating down a river paid a price for me and you. The power of the vote, built on blood-stained ballots, only when we exercise the right do our voices ring valid. Some believe there's no difference in the vote they do not cast, but the irony of it all is their silence that will last. It will last for decades to come with seemingly no end in sight because someone did not understand that the power to vote is our might. Maybe we're not educating the people to our needs. Maybe we're too wrapped up in our own selfishness and greed. Children are stuck with a less than adequate education. Thank God for those who go the distance, full of hope and dedication. To cast an election ballot is the choice to raise our voices. To completely ignore the process, leave us with little or no choices. The one thing I like about having this platform, and especially today, doing it from 4 to 6, I get an opportunity to address some thought about some of my writing. And one of the things I came across recently, some reading I was doing, I think on an NPR article, one of the young ladies they were interviewing said that she does not shame people into voting. And I really believe in the same thing. You cannot shame someone into voting. And but you can educate them into voting. So if you know someone who hasn't voted or talk negatively about voting, be careful of your tone, please. Do it in a loving manner because this is an opportunity to not just have them to vote for this election, but to make them an educated, informed citizen so that they will vote in every election. So I hope that this piece, Act Right and Vote, pretty much does that. And I did say that I would like to do some acknowledgement after that particular piece. And I'm not going to do all the acknowledgements now because one of the things I learned very early on in South Carolina, I used to hear especially Baptist ministers say it, but AME ministers as well, you don't start calling names because you will totally forget someone, and you don't want to do that. But there are some people that I do want to acknowledge because they actually had a hand in the show itself. And first, I have a list here. I would like to thank my elder sister, Van Andrea, and my other mother, my stepmother, Shirley Small, because at least on probably about 3 to 4 occasions, they actually dressed me for the broadcast. You know, either sent me something to wear or actually gave me an outfit to wear for the broadcast. So I really do appreciate them. And I also want to reach out and give thanks to my barber, Aaron Perry, for making sure that my haircut was always straight. And this set, I ended with Cal Jackson. He is the owner, CEO, founder of the Blackbeard Brigade. I don't have my beard now, you know, that will probably come again later. But during the time that I had my beard, it was his product line that I was using. And so I'm glad my sister, his cousin, Cassandra, actually turned me on to the product line. Actually, she got my first set. So that was really kind of her. And so I'll stop there and then we will pick up after the next couple of points. So this one, I'm, I, I'm pretty much reading these as they came off the printer. And I did not have a real, I did not want to put them in a particular order. I just wanted to uh, feel where Spirit was leading me to read these. And this particular one is one of the latest ones, and it's entitled Don't Tread on Our Bodies. We're still standing. We're still strong. We won't settle for you telling us where we belong. We're still breathing, for the air is still free. But how dare you constrict with the pressure of a knee? Where's the justice for black and brown bodies? But you use them for medical research when you're looking for antibodies. Black and brown bodies is all you tend to know when you're looking to enjoy sports, music, or comedy show. You know full well we're so much more, so you use your economic power to keep us begging and poor. A concerted effort on your part to maintain your status quo, expecting your white privilege to be waiting wherever you go. Never giving a thought that what you have was not yours to take. So what do you do instead is claim that the truth and news are now fake. For a decade of disrespect and disparaging remark that our psyche have had to endure, you look at us like we're crazy when we say absolutely, positively, we will take no more. No more murdering of our loved ones for the sake of manifesting your hatred, showing from the depth of your soul, money and power is the only thing you hold sacred. I reflect on pictures of lynching with hundreds gathered around a tree. You are the same ones that will take up arms as someone threatens your liberty. Lady Liberty can kiss my ass, for she stands not for me. She welcomed you to sit right down and tread your hate on me. And Lady Justice can follow suit with her covered crooked eye, claiming she is just and fair, is a complete and utter lie. So don't act so coy or concerned when the pressure finally pops. This is what happens when you allow murders at the hand of dirty, racist cops. This one's entitled Don't Tread Our Bodies. And I guarantee you, I think you know when that one was written. All right, there was, to say I was angry, to say the country is angry, to say that we're angry is not enough. We all have a part to play, and this was my part. All right. So that was Don't Tread on Our Bodies. The next piece is one of my favorite, if not my favorite. This one's entitled Little Black Boy. And as many of you probably know, this past week I posted a picture of my great nephew, Frederick A. McCray III. He is, in my immediate family, the first male child born in 52 years of my mother's children. I have my sister Van Andrea. I have my two nieces, Sierra and Jamisha. I have my great niece Madison, and now comes in this particular family lineage, Frederick. And so 52 years, it's been a long time coming. So, but little black boy. Little black boy born in a world so cold. Little black boy only a few hours old. Little black boy with a grip so strong. Little black boy, to whom do you belong? Little black boy, the years come quickly, but the gaps of the classes leave you alone and sickly. Little black boy starving for some loving, still fighting for survival, enduring the pushing and shoving. Little black boy, all hope is not lost. You can still make it through without the ultimate cost. Little black boy, here, take my hand. It is my inherited duty to help you stand. Because you are a seed with the potential to grow. What you will become, that I do not know. But I will nourish your mind and structure your constitution. Here's to your life, my little brother, my small contribution. Little black boy. And this, I think, is really, if it's not my favorite, it is one of my top 10 favorite pieces. I do want to go ahead and do a couple more acknowledgments. At this time, I want to acknowledge Mark Smith. I call him my de facto producer because he made sure that I had everything needed to produce the show over the last year. So thank you, Mark. I also want to acknowledge Hetty Simmons. She is first of all, she's a poet herself, but she's also the administrator for Poets Post. Poets Post is a group that I started on Facebook, and Hetty saw that my load rather was getting pretty heavy with other things I was doing, and she came to me and said how she can help, and I do appreciate that. I would also like to thank my cousin, Alexander Brave, because he's a moderator now with Poets Post, and he so graciously accepted when I asked him to be a moderator for Poets Post. So thank you so much for that. So I'm going to stop right there, and we'll come back to a few more acknowledgement after a few more points. But then, while I'm here, because we got 2 hours, let me go ahead and acknowledge Hetty. I see you. I see Miss Ricky Snowden, and I actually see you, Aunt Barbara. It's good to see you as well. So keep it rolling. Wave at me, whatever. I'll stop and say hello. That is this kind of day today. All right. Great. Now, this particular piece was from my first book, What Will I Tell My Children? And it's entitled Conquering Stone Mountain. And I chose this particular piece because of the environment that we're in now. Now, mind you, this piece was written, actually, let me put it to you this way. This piece was published back in 2007 in What Will I Tell My Children? And so as I read it, think about the tone of it, and then think about what we know what has happened at Stone Mountain in the last month or so. All right? John, I see you. My brother, Freddie, thank you so much. Very good. And we're going to have this question answer series coming up real soon. All right? Conquering Stone Mountain. It is upon this mountain that one finds sweet peace, warmed by the morning sun as it rises in the east. As water flows down its side, not a storm cloud is seen. Teardrops kiss once hardened places, turning bitter hearts serene. Around this mountain there is a road that curves but never ends. Different races greet each other, no longer foes, but friends. In this mountain there lives a spirit that rests upon our hearts, reminding us that loving one another is how our community starts. In the past, it was a place for those who chose to hate. Now different races reach its top. Oh, what a glorious fate. Conquering Stone Mountain. Ah, what a difference a little bit over a decade can make. So a moment ago I read Little Black Boy. Now we have Little Black Girl. Little black girl born with a spirit so strong. Little black girl, how will you get along? Little black girl with dreams of fairyland. Little black girl, here child, take my hand. I will teach you compassion for all God has made. I will teach you that there is more to life than just making the grade. I will illustrate love through my relationship with others that will someday assist you in choosing a loving brother. I will teach you to reach further than what is at hand and to fight for what you believe in, firmly taking a stand. I will teach you to keep God the center of your world so you become a caring black woman and not remain a little black girl. Little black girl. So to my brother, I see you. Marvin, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. So let's see what we have next. It's a folded page. I'm going to read this and then we'll go back to some acknowledgement. This particular piece is entitled To Tell the Truth. It too is in What Will I Tell My Children, but it's amazing that it was written so long ago and published so long ago, but it's still apropos for today. And so let's hear it. The blood of our soldiers continually wash up, excuse me, the blood of our soldiers continually wash onto our shores. Across the land, companies small and large are forced to close their doors. Entire families are becoming homeless at a rate mainstream media won't reveal. Corporations are moving overseas, acquiring labor at a steal. Politicians are seeking votes, however many refuse to hear our voices. We American citizens tend to lend ourselves only to our material choices. There's a conflict brewing in my soul signaling this isn't right. How dare you destroy and rebuild another country and care not about your own country's plight? Spreading seeds like pouring rain to conquer the general election, floating discriminative legislation to the people instead of love, encouraging rejection. Unemployment rate is higher than when we had a president who refused to remember. However, the media portrays a decline in joblessness. Interesting, it's in the month of December. Situations can and they do change as quickly as the tide moves in. You may find yourself on the outside and a stranger to where you once been. Love your neighbor as yourself, one of the two greatest commandments. When we fail to follow suit, we wonder why we landed. We wonder what's going on. It's not that buried behind the scene. The truth is simply that we're witnessing that our heart can be so callous and mean. To tell the truth, I on I think it was last Wednesday. No, actually, it was during another Zoom call I was on that for the first time I had heard about the post, the post box, rather, the mailbox being picked up on the corners in some of the major cities. And so I had to go back and do some reading, some research, read some articles and things like that. And my smile is somewhat of a nervous smile because the audacity of this administration to do and to pull right in the front of our eyes what it is doing. And the only thing I can do is really to fight backwards to say, educate myself, and hopefully you're educating yourself and knowing how you're going to be a warrior in the battle that is being first led by God and fought by you. All right? So let me go ahead and get a few acknowledgments out of the way. Michael Moore, my homeboy, man, thank you for checking in. Just before you go there, Michael, because you did, I'm going to go ahead and bust you out before you bust me out. Michael said that he's going to tell everybody that had been drinking before coming on that I was already drunk, but I got a glass of water. I told everybody on last week that I was not going to drink wine on social media, that it follow me for the rest of my life. So I got water, Michael. It is not gin, anything white, it's water. Right? So Rick, Roger, I see you guys. Thank you so much. George, I see you as well. I want to go ahead and get these acknowledgments in. Put my new eyes on. I want to acknowledge my church family back in Washington, D.C., Unity of Washington, D.C., led by the senior minister, Sylvia Sumter. I also want to acknowledge my work family back in D.C., my Ballou State family. I love you all. I miss you dearly. And I also would like to acknowledge my Reiki practitioner and spiritual advisor, Bernard Manson. With all of that being said, I am Sheralden Brave. That's my last name. I'm very proud of it. Let me acknowledge my family, the Brave family. I sent you all something almost a year ago on our family group. You are the wind beneath my wings. I thank you all so much every week. Many of you are on with me. Some of you have been on from the very beginning, and I thank you so much. You've not only encouraged me, you've inspired me, you give me the confidence to do this. So I really thank you. and also Smalls. So let me thank my brothers and sisters and my parents on the small side of the family. So I thank you all for what you instilled in me. I love you all so much for being a part of my life, and again giving me the inspiration to do what I do, and the confidence and the courage every week. Thank you. I still have one more acknowledgement toward the end. One of my favorite, and I want to do a shout out to Donna Kimball, Donna Satchel Kimball, because she reminded me that this is a piece that I gave her many years ago. And she said it's her favorite piece, and it's my favorite piece as well. It's entitled My Dwelling Place. Father, you are my dwelling place, the sun rays upon my face, the wind against my back, the light between the cracks, the promise in time of storm that I'll never be left alone, the anointing upon my head, by grace and mercy I am led. You are my counselors, touching my eyelids with sleep. You are my very best friend, for my secrets you do keep. You are my way maker, when mountains are all I see. You are the King of glory, who sets my shackles free. When others try to trouble me as I continue to run this race, I shall keep on keeping on, for you are my dwelling place. My dwelling place. Just before I left Washington, D.C. to return to the Atlanta area, I did this piece entitled What Mountain? It too is my top 10 of my favorite pieces because it gave me the opportunity to really go within and to feel the presence of spirit working through me, in me, um, to do this particular piece. And I do know, and another shout out to Mrs. Sylvia Brown. She actually really encouraged me on this particular piece, and so let me share it with you now. What mountain? Here stands this mountain, perched majestically high, its razor horn crest sharply piercing the skies. This mountain stands fast, obstructing my very growth. Couldn't go over or under, I know. I tried them both. This mountain stands solidly, blocking greener pastures. This mountain, this rock, I must surely master. Standing in the distance, it grows from all my fears, getting harder to contend with from days to months and months to years. One morning as I awoke, singing praises of gratitude, looked at that menacing mountain with all its girth and altitude. Now I scale this very mountain, reaching its highest peak, believing that I can manifest whatever I plainly speak. This mountain continues to strengthen me as I squarely address my fears, for there is no mountain greater than my loving God who cares. What mountain? So, what I would like to do at this time, because I forgot to make a note, but praise God, I did remember uh, Hetty. Can you send me a wave, Hetty Simmons? And do I already have you with an invite? Because Hetty, I would like for you to send greetings, especially since you are the administrator for Poets Post. And so let's see if I already got you waiting to do your greeting. I see you. Let me know. There you are. Hetty, I got you. But Hetty, I do not have Hetty. Very good, thank you. Okay, approves.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Hetty, it was so much. I'm glad I remembered. I realized I didn't. Thank you in your face.
It's all good. You look mighty handsome. May I say congratulations?
I appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you.
You got it. You got it.
There was- I know one of the things also was also on as well.
Would you repeat the why? For some reason, you're just going in and out.
Okay. Uh, us, that you're the administrator with Post Post. What else is going on in the poet world now?
Got you. Thank you for allowing me to work with Poets Post. It's been exhilarating and seeing the different ideas, the way different people write. It just motivates me even in more ways. The only thing I have going on right now, I am the owner of a poetic ministry, Words for the Soul, Leaving You Whole. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I hear you well.
Great, great. I just finished my project I've been working on for 19 years. It's a book called Just Be You, and it's a acronym for Justified Under Salvation to Believe and Expect, especially your own uniqueness. So Just Be You stands for just being who you've been called to be. I was able to take about 16 pieces of poetry and put color photos to match each poem. And you have the poem itself. You have, I won't tell the surprise what else is in the piece of poetry. You literally have to get the book for that.
Okay.
And as I was looking back, I was looking at the number 19, which actually means in biblical numerology, faith. It took me faith to keep, literally, to not give up a poetic ministry. I go to bed sleeping poems, dreaming poetry, writing on napkins, and then initially, I guess Corona brought it all out because everything's been taken away from us. And the book literally allows you to see certain pieces of poetry, find yourself in it, and allows you to become a better you in the reference of what God has called you to do. No matter what you do, it speaks volumes to you. So just be you. Hopefully it'll be out by the end of, this is August, September 1st of October. We're just sending everything off to the printer for a dry run to make sure the book looks good in my hand. So Just Be You is coming in. I don't know what to say. It's almost like a miracle, So I've already got series. So,
Very good.
yes, yes.
People to see the person behind the name Eddie on Poets Post.
You said the.
But you're with the next.
Okay.
All right. Thank you now.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Very good. Kenneth, you are there, my brother. Kenneth, would you send me an invite? Because I do want to talk to you. I want to invite you on because you were the very first interview that I did on Poets Post. So I see that you're on the broadcast. Are you able to send me an invite? Gotcha. Let's see. They'll receive an invite. I'm going to add you. And Kenneth, you are being added. And thank you, Sonia. I see you. And Patrick, I see you as well. Thank you so much. I think I got you coming aboard, Kenneth. No? Yes, my brother, thank you so much. How are you today?
Hey, happy anniversary, my
Thank
friend.
you so much. Are you able to hear me well? Very
Yeah, I hear
good,
you.
very good. So I want to.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you very clearly. I want to invite you on
Good.
because you were first and foremost my very first, and actually you in the studio
Woo!
because I had so much problem with the technology. So I thank you first for being patient with that and coming the next week to follow through. So if you'd like to share, what are you working on?
Well, let me share a piece I recently wrote. I was gonna go a bit of older
Okay.
piece, but this is the piece I wrote. It's called "The New Jerusalem," believe it
All
or
right.
not, and I do a twist on it because it's about the relationship, the repaired relationship between me and my
Okay.
father. Yeah. So it's entitled New Jerusalem. The day finally came, and there we anxiously sat at the dining room table eating a slice of sweet potato pie. Christmas had passed, and the new year was fast approaching, and we struggled with leaving some things in the past. We grappled initially trying to find common ground. Hurts and mistrust had already lasted a lifetime of abuse, verbal, physical, and far worse, mental. Will this moment of reconciliation and renewal last? It began a month earlier during the Thanksgiving season. Fertile ground was broken and with unfettered truths spoken. Walls of hatred, envy, and hurts began to crack. Could this be the new Jerusalem we both subconsciously desired? Sitting in spatial dimensions of transcendency, matters of our hearts slowly and nervously unfolded. As this new Jerusalem manifested before us, there we both sat, doing the hard work required. He spoke, I spoke. Neither could recall the birth of this madness. Nervously, we laughed at and with each other, not knowing what to do with the newness being birthed, until liberating words of our hearts were finally spoken out loud. Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? He asked. Tears began to flow like the waters cascading from the top of Niagara Falls. And there we sat, with fear and trembling, realizing the New Jerusalem was here. Can you find it in your heart to forgive me as well? I asked, unbowed. This catapulted us both to stand, embracing each other anew, a feeling and sensation, a closeness never experienced before. 3 decades in the makings, the walls came tumbling down, and the New Jerusalem became our present reality. Finally, words spoken that every child longs to hear. I love you, son, spoken through tears, fears, and now healing. I love you too, Dad, spoken from the depths of my soul. In the midst of our New Jerusalem, shamelessly we embraced in vulnerability.
Since we're friends, I want to say something to you on Facebook Live that you
Okay?
know is just totally me. You make me sick.
You are. You all for that? I take that as a compliment.
My brother.
Let me put this
And
phone
I
down.
mean, the title itself, the title itself, the theme,
Uh-huh.
the title, the power behind that piece is why you and I are friends, man. You never put
Uh-huh.
your pen to paper unless that pen is burning that paper. And it's
Wow.
mighty, man. It's mighty. I
Appreciate it.
appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you so much. And I know I'm keeping you up. This should be your rest time. So thank you so much for coming in
All right,
and sharing
Shalal.
this time with us, okay? And I'll be in touch.
All right, happy anniversary again.
All
We'll
right,
be in
thank you
touch.
now. All right.
Huh?
Now, I am going to ask your uh, your patience for something. My air condition is running and I can hear it and it's driving me crazy because it's kind of like a feedback with you all. So give me just a second to reach up here to turn that thermostat, do something with this thermostat, and I'll be right back before you. All right. Thank you. And this is why you get fully dressed for what you need to do. Because it's like Zoom meetings and everything like that. You want to be prepared because you never know when you might have to move, stand up, or whatever else. So that was Kenneth Hammond. Kenneth was my very first uh, interview on Facebook. Now I dropped the ball. I'm going to see if I can bring if she's available, because I did not send an invite. But let me talk about it nonetheless. On the 14th February, in those couple of days, 13th, 14th, and 15th, I had as my second interview Mrs. Eunice Brown of Georgetown, South Carolina. You guys showed her so much love, and I thank you so much for that. So I dropped the ball there. I hope that she is with us. But if not, I will correct that some way, somehow on another video. I have about two more pieces that I would like to do, but before I do that, I want to also do one more acknowledgement. Many of you know that I had lived in the Atlanta area for about 15 years before I made the move back to South Carolina and then on to DC, where I lived for the DC area for about 10 years before coming back to Atlanta. But what some of you don't know is that I started working on the first book, What Will I Tell My Children, while I was here in the Atlanta area. And I would like to acknowledge my brothers, my god brothers, Rick Grimes and Roger Felt, for opening up their home and their hearts to me during some very trying times for me back in those days, and where most of the book was written during that time. And so I wanted to acknowledge them along with so many of my friends and associates in the Atlanta area, because I would not have been able to do it without you all as well. So thank you all so much for that. A few more pieces, and then we get to the part I was really looking forward to, is the question and answer portion of the anniversary celebration. All right. This particular piece is entitled, What a Difference a Day Makes. What a difference a day makes when it comes to our freedom and our choices. What a difference a day makes when individual states have the right to quiet our voices. What a difference one person makes who stands for truth and right. What a difference one challenger makes who dares not tire during the fight. What a difference one voice makes that speaks of love's limitless power. What a difference one voice makes when the day long awaited is upon the hour. What a difference we all make when we love each other like atoms unbound. What a difference we all make when we all stand on equal ground. What a difference a day makes. Well, we're down to three. One of my favorite, Master of Love. I've learned to love and I've learned to live. I've learned it's not about what I get, it's about what I give. I've learned that I will reap sooner or later whatever I sow. I've learned holding on to old baggage would eventually show. I've learned that to expect true love, I must first truly love me. I've learned that a discerning spirit is greater than what the eye can see. I've learned control should not be an issue. It's not about who will yield. I've learned that the only games played should be on a board or on a field. I've learned that love sometimes hurts. I've learned it will always heal. I've learned that true love goes deeper than what I think I feel. I've learned that I can be patient, giving others their desired space. I've learned that we can love one another and not bend each other's face. I've learned to say thank you, Spirit Divine, for teaching me how to love, acknowledging the Master Instructor, teaches from consciousness above, Master of Love. Now, there is something I want to say about this particular piece. My Reiki practitioner and my spiritual advisor, Bernard Manson, is also a good friend of mine. And one thing I love about people who know me, they know how to check me, they know how to address me, but they allow me to show up as myself, and lovingly check me. And I love it. And Bernard would sometimes say during a conversation, we know, Sheraldin, it's all about you. So I heard that so many times that it finally stuck. And I'm loving that it has stuck because it's given me the option, the ability, the opportunity to share not from my experiences per se, what's going on with me, but to understand that everybody has a story. And so I enjoy these few years of listening to other people's story, you know, and that's a really big change for me because he's right. It was always about Sherald, and I'm sure there's some people in my family that will attest to that. It was always about Sherald, but um, but that's not where my heart was. That was coming from a place of insecurity that I recognized and started to work with. And I had friends like Bernard who just called it what it was. So I appreciate that. So the Master of Love pretty much addresses some of that, and I totally love this piece. Yes. And for my poets, I'm sure you all will really appreciate this particular piece. It's entitled Resurgency of Poetry. There's some who might say that poetry is dead. I say view it from the heart instead of the head. For poetry flows as the breath of the writer. With pen and pad in hand, the poet is a mighty fighter. Poets write with vulnerability and strength at the same time, but a consciously aware poet makes it all work with rhyme. Poets stand ready, accepting the tougher assignments, for whatever is written or spoken should be in spiritual alignment. Yes, poetry is yet alive, offering a well of peace. For whomever have an ear to hear, blessings will indeed increase. Resurgence of poetry. And so the last piece is a four-liner. And before I go on, I want to acknowledge, I see you, Robert. Thank you so much. Again, Patrick, I see you. Thank you. And the last piece, and then we're going to go into the Q&A part of all of this. And so go ahead and have your questions ready. And I'm excited about it, I think. I'm excited about it. This four-liner is entitled The Winning Ticket. If you hear, that's the train going by. It's interesting living where I live in a little small town in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, called Mapleton, Georgia. And Mapleton pretty much was established right on, the train line. That basically, I think it was purchased, and most of it was purchased to have the train come through it. Well, I work overnight. And so when I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm trying to sleep. And this is what I think you may have heard it. This is what I hear during the day. And so I'm learning to adjust to it. But the first couple of weeks, it was intolerable. Again, the winning ticket. Come November 4th, America won't be embarrassed because we voted in the better choice of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Again, the winning ticket. Come November 4th, America won't be embarrassed because we voted in the better choice of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. All of these will be attached to the video once I'm done here and we're done with the 6 o'clock hour. I will go back on, and as every week you will find all the poems with the video. I will attempt to, if Facebook do allow me to save this video that we're doing right now, you and I will also put it on Instagram and YouTube. So that is pretty much it as far as the poetry. I hope that you all enjoyed what I was able to share with you all. I would ask that this is a great time if you need to. Let's just take a couple of minutes, about 2 minutes, to get up, get yourself your coffee, your tea. I'm going to have a sip of water, and I'm going to change over to see who is waiting to ask these questions. This is the best time to do it. All right. So give me just a moment. Just get a sip of water, and I'm excited about this part. And I will also share with you. I think you all remember I shared with you sometime probably July about this little lad, this little youngster kid. He was wonderful, man. He looked at me and he said, "Hey, old man." So I saw the poem today as I was going through, and I really wanted to put it in, but it still touches my heart because I still laugh about it. And his mom trying to correct him and everything. But I'm just pleased that he greeted me, and he saw an old man with all that white beard and everything. So it still makes me, I still crack up about it. So I hope to be able to come across the video soon and to share that with you all again. Excuse me. Be gentle with the questions. Now, my mom may be on and other family members, so if it's too deep, I may not answer. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Well, Patrick, I see your first question. And Patrick, let me, if you don't mind, because I did say that if you are going to ask a question, that you send me an invite, or I'm going to try to pull you on so that I can actually see you ask the question. All right. So what prompted you to write The Resurgence of Poetry? I'm going to see. So, Patrick, are you able to send me an invite to bring you on? Ah, I see you. Okay.
Hi.
Greetings. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. So, did I understand what was specific about certain poetry?
Out. Yeah, I think you're asking me what specific question do I have about that poem. I just wondered what prompted you to write The Resurgence? Do you see a resurgence happening in composition? Do you think that the times are dictating that people pour their souls out in words? What was there something that just tipped you to write? It was beautiful, I might add.
Thank you.
And I thought very thoughtful.
When you're a poet, other poets, period. And one thing
Hmm.
I find poetry is that put it the way, and I'm going to give you all because I think feedback might be okay.
I'm going to let me see. I can't really hear you real well. You're going in and out. I'm going to put on some.
Okay, so Patrick, hopefully this works better once I heard the question, and hopefully you can hear me without the feedback now. I know many poets, and I know the work that they are doing out there, even if they don't have a platform, how they're touching lives, and I see a lot of it through the group Poets Post, and so I know that a lot of people know spoken word and slam and all of that, but there's a lot of work that a lot of people don't know about on the poetry side. As a matter of fact, how I know this is because a lot of you are sending me things through Messenger, which I do appreciate. And so that piece was pretty much written more so for the poets that say we have a charge to keep, per se. We have a charge to keep, and that is and it's to let them know to stay charged up. Now, I want to say something else about that. Um, Another poet friend of mine, Christopher Fields, out of the Maryland, D.C. area, shared a piece. He shared a post that someone had written concerning poets and depression. And I am here to tell you, poets probably deal with a lot of depression because and poetry is what we use to work through those dark times and things like that. So what a lot of you may not know on the platform is that I do a lot of reaching out to my poets because I know that the work that they do carries a lot of heaviness. And so I would, just check in to see how they're doing, um, and to encourage them to keep doing what they're doing. So the resurgence of poetry was more so to serve as a charge, a call to charge for the poets, and to let you know that we know that poetry is still important. All right. So thank you for that question. And what I would like to do, I'm going to go because I know that there were some people that were already there and waiting. So I'm going to go down that list first. All right. Sultan, I got one, so I'm going to go ahead and add you since you've already sent one. I'm bringing you in on camera, Sultan. And there was something else I wanted to say, and just that quickly, since I have the pad in front of me, I need to make notes. Sultan, are you there? Okay, very good. So I will see his question probably pop up. John, what about you? I'm going to add you, and if you care. Now, let me also say that was in my promo, is that if you're going to want to ask a question, please be prepared to come on video. Now, if you don't want to be on video, that's all right and well. Just know that I'm going to go through those that's sending me the invite first, all right? So thank you so much, Roger. I got your message, man. Thank you. I want to see more of what you were saying here. Okay, so let's do this to keep this rolling along. If you like, Don, do I have you?
Yes, yes.
Good
How
man.
you?
How are you?
How you? I'm doing fine. I'm just sitting here. I didn't know you was gonna do that though.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was gonna do. I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here listening.
All right. So, John, did you have a particular question, comment, statement, anything?
I'm enjoying it. That's what
Well,
I got to say. I'm enjoying the live.
thank you. Thank you. You've been following me, I think, from day one.
Right, right. Since you know my brother Mark,
Yes.
Mark Smith, I knew him since he lived in California. Knew his mother and his father and everybody.
Yeah, he shared that with me, and so I really do appreciate you being with me from day one. I just watched that video a few days ago because, of course, it came up in Facebook memory.
Right.
It was so good to see who were showing up, and I had actually forgotten some of the people that were there from the very beginning. So I do appreciate you. I appreciate you then. And I really appreciate you being here a year later celebrating with us. So thank you so much.
All right. And I'm glad I didn't have your anniversary. I didn't know it was your anniversary until I saw the post on them.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It's been that long. It's been a year.
yeah, Facebook does its own thing when it comes to the algorithm, so I just kind of get into the flow of it. I don't fight the funk when it comes down to that.
I've been sitting in the house in New York. You know, we've been quarantined in the house, not quarantined, but since March. I ain't been many places. You know, I want to go south to home, but I'm scared to go to North Carolina now because of all this
Yes,
Corona thing.
yes, yes. I get it. I understand. Well, thank you so much for being a part of it, and we will see each other online come next Wednesday.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too as well.
Okay.
All right. Bye now.
Okay. Good night. Bye.
So do I have any requests? Let's see. Make sure I got this going on correctly. I saw someone. Now, beautiful. Thank you so much. Now, because I want to be fair, not everyone would probably feel comfortable getting on the video, and that's fine. If you'd like to just go ahead and type your question, and hopefully it will roll in time for me to be able to see it. All right. So, Robert Allison, are you asking to come on camera? Okay, thank you, Hetty. Appreciate you.
Hey,
Hey, thank you so
hey,
much.
hey, my homeboy, how's it going? I have a question for you. With the way that you write, what do you feel, or how do you see your future pieces affecting any others who may read it or come in contact with you in lights of what's going on now?
Wow, that question really brought up I thought about tonight, and if there are a lot of things that I'm in want you all, are you able to hear me all right? No. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna ask the question, Hetty, first, okay?
Okay.
So Hetty's question basically is, how do I see my writing, especially future-wise, of how it might affect others? And it's interesting she asked that question because I never really gave it much thought until last night. And one thing about any art is that, of course, the art form outlives the artist, him or herself. And when I look at the pieces that I've written over the years, and especially this last year, I am grateful that there will be the work left to speak for me. That's really important for me. And it also guides what I write, um, and how I show up. I never want, even after I've made my transition, I hope that my pieces speak um, to the spirit, to the soul, to the heart of those who are seeking to learn, to love, and to grow. I will share that I made a conscious decision well about 20 years ago not to write anything that would be demeaning and not supportive of the greater good and the greater work that God has put in me. Now, that does not mean that every once in a while you won't hear me cuss in a piece. Every once in a while, I might like to cuss in a piece to get a piece. But I have to make a point about that. My mother said to me one time, she said, she says something I'm paraphrasing, uh, it shows your intelligence or your lack of intelligence uh, that you have to cuss instead of uh, making the point without cussing. And so my point is that every once in a while, but I will tell you the piece that I did cuss in today, I meant to cuss in that piece because it was to not to while it was flowing through me. That's how I heard it, and I wrote it the way I heard it. So, but in general, Hetty, I'm hoping that if people come across my work many years after my transition, they will say that I've done a good job. That would probably be about the most I'm looking for, is that I tried to do a good job, right? Thank you so much for that. Let's see who else we have here. And I found out something also that if you send the invite, I can approve it. I do apologize. I was adding people who didn't want to be added. So if you send an invite to be part of the video, which should be next to your like button, please do so, and I'll answer your questions from there. And instead of me just throwing you underneath the bus, okay? So let's see, what do we have here? What prompted you to, okay, I got that one. And my cousin Benadera, thank you for being aboard. I got you. Let's see what you, yes, thank you for catching me live. Wow, thank you, Hetty, for that. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you. And John. Any other questions? Now, also, do me the favor of, I almost forgot to ask this. Going forward, I will always put at the end of the poems to please share. One of the things, I don't do a lot of work on Brave Pen and Paper, which is also on Facebook. And there's a reason for that. A lot of my followers are much older than I am. And I love connecting with them on my personal page. On my personal page right now, I'm very close to 5,000 friends, and that's where I really want to connect. So I don't do a lot on Brave Pen and Paper because right now it's a little bit cumbersome for me, and I don't want it to be cumbersome for them as well. So, but please, if you're watching a video of mine, a Poet's Post, please feel free to share it also on your, just share it. And your friends and family will be able to see it from your page. That would really help for me. All right. So that's that on that. Anybody else? Please. Now I know there's got to be one or two more questions out there. Let's see. Let me go in the other direction. Wow. Thank you, Roger, for that. Thank you so much. Hetty. And is it Mandel? Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate you. Anthony, my brother, thank you so much. I don't, I think I can write something that just says sneeze a chew and you will support me in it. I thank you so much. And let me also say this. There are many of you who send me inspirational things through Messenger. Thank you so much. It is it's a community thing. It really is. It's a village, and so thank you for what you send to me. Um, Thank you. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it right there. Wow. Thank you, Kenneth, again. Sonia Blair, thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate you. Wayne, thank you. Reverend Sheldon, thank you. I appreciate you. George, thank you. Marvin, I thank you as well. Montre, thank you. Freddie, come on, Freddie. Are you still with me? Freddie, now come on, you help me figure this whole thing out. Give me a question on video, just send it to me, give me something. Matter of fact, and Freddie, all jokes aside, thank you so much for helping me get prepared for today and always for your support. Aunt Barbara, thank you, I see you. All right. So one of the things I do not do, I did say that we will be on it until 6. I will not hold you all until 6 because if you know there's no questions or anything, but know that I've enjoyed this time with you. It's been quite a day. Just getting ready, and anything and everything that could go wrong went wrong, but I've learned some things. And one of the things I've learned is, and I hear from Spirit all the time, don't rush. Don't rush. Don't rush. So, but let me give you all, since the questions, I want to give you a little background on some of my writing and how I show up and what that process actually looks like for me. Many of you know that I do a post almost every day. So at work, I keep a little black book in my pocket at all times, and a thought will come to me, and I will jot it down. Sometimes I would immediately post what I jot down. Sometimes I will not. Sometimes some things need to be worked through and worked out, and or sometimes I may have 5 pieces that come into my head, and I may go ahead and do all 5 pieces. But lately, I've had a lot coming through me, and I pretty much have been only putting one piece. And I think even a couple of days this week, I may not, maybe 1 or 2 days, I didn't post at all. Getting prepared for today, and I really don't want to post just for the sake of posting. One of the things you probably recognize is that I do a lot of the small posts, and again, this is something I learned from Reverend Bev. Excuse me, please. She used to always say, use I statements. And so a lot of times I will use an I statement, whether or not it's a personal experience for myself. Because what happens is that sometimes when you use a you statement, it may put a person on the defense instead of lovingly inviting them to consciously look at whatever is going on. So sometimes I will use an I statement where it may not necessarily be talking about me. But I will tell you that between spirit, divine, and myself, a lot of times what I'm writing about is about me, and that in itself just is funny to me because I'm one of the funniest people I know, and I'm always laughing. I said, God's got to just, just like have to be laughing at me because He's God, Mother, Father. God has always got to be on me. So I love what I do. I'm a poet, but I'm very much human. And so I'm always having to check my thoughts. I'm always having to check my thoughts. And so what you all are usually seeing is me checking my thoughts. All right. So when you see those posts, there he goes checking his thoughts again. Now, I want to acknowledge my cousin who is here in the Atlanta area, Johnetta Myers. Johnetta and I have been at least for the last 2 3 months. Every Sunday, basically, we get together to go either biking or walking, speed walking. I've lost more weight than I need to, but I'm acknowledging her because she gives me the opportunity um, to have a conversation with someone that I feel very comfortable with, feel very safe with, and can talk about where I'm going as far as writing. And she also keeps me focused on the business aspect of Brave Pen and Paper, which later on, probably on a Wednesday coming up soon, I will talk to you all about that. I have chosen not to do, Cash App and all of those things because God has also made me an entrepreneur, and I love coming up with ideas to actually offer and even exchange when that time comes between you and I. So, but John Netta has kept me focused on the business side, and I'm very happy about that. So I'm asking you to stay tuned, especially coming closer to the end of the year. There are a lot of great things going on for Brave Pen and Paper. I'm very excited about it. Um, my whole demeanor and where I am and how I show up is starting to show through my business, and I'm loving it, loving every minute of it. So I just wanted to say that, and I'm in a very good place. So thank you for allowing me this space, this platform to be that with you. All right. So let's take another look. No one to approve. Eric Daniel, it's good to see you, my brother. Uh, and so let's take a look at the time. We got 5:19. And so since we have no other questions and comments, thank you all for the well wishes. I appreciate you. Uh, I will tell you that once I get off, I'm probably going to crash because when I got home this morning after doing some work and everything, getting prepared for the day, I think I've had exactly 2 hours of sleep. And that's not good for the body, you know. So I'm looking forward to crashing and first making sure that you have everything that you need to share with other people. So that's all I'm going to say, and I do thank you. I want to take a look at one last thing here. Oh my God, there we go. Thank you, George. I appreciate you, Eric. I see you, cousin Alexander. I see you as well. And so we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I thank you so much. My after this is done, to the point. After this is done, I am going to during the broadcast my do not disturb is on and all of that. I will open up. I thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next week Wednesday. Now this again, you know my favorite part of the show. I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can ask the universe, it will not support you. I thank you for sharing 12 months with me of Wednesday Wisdom Poetry. And within that 12 months, we've gone through one entire book. Started working on the second book. And so now I'm basically writing pieces to come before you every Wednesday. So it's a lot of work, but it's from a place of love. So I thank you. I am Sheralden Brave. I will see you on next week, Wednesday. I love you and nothing you can do about it. So until next week, we are, go ahead and enjoy your tea, your coffee, whatever you indulge in. Thank you. Bye now.